Hello and welcome everybody to a layout update for the Bessemer and Lake Erie in HO scale for April 16th, 2023. Got some new track work done on the upper deck here in Butler. This will be Pullman standard back there where my laser is, and we'll be getting into Armco steel up here. This is probably going to be a fairly long video. I think this will be the first time I can really kind of follow how they're really going to run once the layout is quote-unquote finished. So one of the things I spent the last couple weeks doing was building what will be standard junction. These are number 6 turnouts. This is all hand laid in place. Did a little bit here, a little bit there. It was kind of tedious. There's 6 switches here at what will be standard junction, and ultimately this will all be on tortoises, but temporarily we just got the caboose ground throws in. So this track will be going off to Red Hot in the Fawn Creek loader, and this track here is the lead for AK and Pullman standard. So I'll go ahead and couple this guy up. So this will be a southbound ore train, and I'm going to have to run through the yard since the layout's not fully built yet, which is not how trains will run once we're all set up. Alright. We'll get this guy rolling here. So this will be the Fawn Creek loader in the corner here, and as the train comes around and starts going down the helix, I'm going to scenic this top bit here, and this will be Calmerville. And there actually was a tunnel on the real Bessemer that was daylighted. So I'm gonna, if you look, it's still a pretty deep cut there now. So I'm gonna make this kind of a cut going into, around the corner here, and I'll put a tunnel in as it ducks into the back part of the helix. And like I said, that'll be Calmerville. Alright, so while he's starting to go down, I've been making progress here on the second deck. Oh, hi, Betty. On the porter cutoff and the second level of the swing gate, and that's about all the further. I got track laid there right now, and there's no power in any of that upper deck track on the swing gate yet. But we'll get 718 rolling here. And I don't have all this dialed in yet, so we'll see if we get across without any derailments. And these are my self-made coal loads. They're extremely light. I almost wish they were a little heavier. Alright, so this will be a northbound coal train, and this will be crossing over the diamonds here at Cremis. Bought this double crossover off a guy in the club, Dale Besser. He's got a really cool layout. It's heavy on operations. It's JMRI switchless. It is super cool. Like going out and running at Dale's. So one of the things I got done was got in Digitrax SE74. And I got a push button here in the front, again temporary. And if I push that, all 4 turnouts throw. I can also throw that from my throttle or from JMRI on the computer. So you can see you got both trains heading down the helix now. And we'll get them rolling here. We got a lot of ground to cover. So normally these trains would be starting in Conneaut, North Bessemer, but since the entire upper deck isn't built yet, we're just going to start where we can. And basically each of these trains is going to end up where the other one was. So the coal train will end up where the ore train was, the ore train will end up where the coal train was, but we got to go around the lower deck to do that. So the layout will run continuous loop if I so desire, or we'll run point to point. Just depends how you want to do it. So our ore train will be dropping out of the helix right about there. And he'll be heading through Rural Ridge right now. I'm heading to the Allegheny Industrial District, which is over there behind my computer monitor. Figuring out how the tracks got in and out of this helix was something that took a lot of head scratching. And of course, this is where this SD7 sitting will be the double track Erie crossing at XN at Shenango, and this will be the Erie interchange. Here comes our coal train crossing through XN, and that's the Osgood Viaduct and the KO line behind us there. So coal train's gonna run through Bridge 38 and through Greenville. While the ore train's crossing the Allegheny River Bridge. I did called a prototype scavenger hunt here earlier in the week with Ashley Krishon. Well, Ashley Gorbush, actually. She's married now. I gotta train myself to say that. But we got lots of good pictures of the Allegheny River Bridge. Really helped me think about how I'm going to build the model. We found the Pardo mine and got some really good ideas how I'm going to model that. I'm going to be modeling that right there. Pardo mine was gone by my era of the Bessemer, but we're going to model it anyway because why not? Now I can tell you that I have not run parallel trains like this yet. This is a first. Northbound coal train and a southbound ore train at the same time. So coming through here, this will be KO junction where the KO line splits off and starts going up the riser. This will be Calvin Yard, Butler on the upper deck. And as long as those trains are running, this will be Grove City on the upper deck up here. We've got a few things laid out for Montgomery Lumber and milepost 62.6. If you've ever had a scanner on the area, you know where that is. The turntable and yard at North Bessemer. And of course, that'll be the Hartstown Swamp there on the left. And you can see I don't have the upper deck benchwork built down here yet, but the ore train is now leaving the Conneaut docks. Let's go follow it for a minute. Crossing under the New York Central. And one of my favorite spots in the layout. Get some just good snaking action. The ore train is now coming into Cranesville. This will be the Cranesville B yard. And this track in the foreground is the Erie branch going down to Girard. There'll be Girard back in the back corner there. Wallace Junction down here on the right. Going to Erie and 12th Street Erie on the subdeck over there. Subway Street in Cranesville. And here's our meet. Ore south, coal north. This was the Bessemer. Ore trains rolling through Albion. Do the A yard with some engine facilities over here eventually. And you can see my through the wall helix down there that leads down to the Girard branch. Passing through Conneautville. Going to get the co-op and grain elevator in at Conneautville. So, I only got about the front half of the yard built here. I've still got to build the back half. And I hand lay all the switches, so it takes a while. And got to do the tracks under the Hewlett here. I'll have a small engine facility here. Down at this end, we'll have the interchange with the Union. And that'll be the Union going off through that tunnel. Alright, so here's our ore train starting to climb the KO line. A little backwards to how it is in real life. KO line stays level while the line through Greenville sort of drops down and then has to climb back up. But for the sake of my layout, the KO line climbs. But it does bypass Greenville pretty much just like the prototype. I'm realizing I think I forgot to clean the track up here, so this might get a little herky-jerky. And it's my temporary stand-in for the Osgood Viaduct. Have to build that someday. And the KO line jumps into the helix on the second turn. One of the neat things in the layout. I got my little telegraph key in there. I'll get it connected to a light to flash or something one of these days. Over there you can see the coal train coming across the swing gate. Here you can see our ore train climbing the helix. And yes, the basement's a mess. Everything's always under construction down here. It's a hazard of being a model railroader, I guess, and taking on a project like this. Slow that coal train. Oops. Let's slow that coal train, not stop that coal train. Alright. Here's our ore train. Climbing out of the helix. Modeling the Fredonia hardware and feed, or feed and hardware, whatever it was at Fredonia. The loaded buckwheat there. Alright. Like I said, I don't have any power to the track on the swing gate yet, so that's as far as we're going. So you can imagine if the rest of the upper deck was built, it would eventually follow around the basement and be back where it started. Not that we'll run that way for operations, but it's nice just to be able to let the trains go. It's a self-staging railroad, and it's the way I like to describe it. I'll make some more coal loads, make this train longer. I'm going to dress this helix up some more yet. I'm thinking about putting some lights in it and some fascia where I'll just kind of cut like viewports. Have full access for derailments and whatnot from the inside. All right. You're rolling past the Fawn Creek loader. And through Standard Junction. And that's the end of the line for now. So, got some more track delay, got some switches to build, and then back to bench work. And the goal is to get the main line connected around the upper deck by the end of the year. So, I think we're rolling pretty good to do that. A lot of the hard parts are done. Figuring out that swing gate was some work. And in this loop out around the end of Butler was some work. But we're ready for that, and can't wait to get the main line wrapped up so we can start doing some really fun stuff like building out some of the industries and yards and structures and scenery. So hope you enjoyed the ride around the layout. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Chief Engineer Betty Boo there says it's time to get the work train out and push it down the track and keep heading forward. See you guys next time.